How you doing, guys? We're back. A little bit of a special beer review tonight. Going to be reviewing the year-old version of Pump Host Doppelbock, aged 1 year. Now, it's not aged to the date that I dumped it in my cellar, but it's pretty close. It's pretty much close to a year. It was this month last year anyway that it was bottled and put out. So, and looking forward to this. Sadly, Pump Host doesn't seem to be interested in making it this year, so maybe this might be the the second last time I ever have it, which would be really sad because it's an excellent beer and it's sold really well as far as I can tell. Um, I wish they'd bring it back. I really do, because I'd be stocking up on this stuff. But so yeah, Pump Host Doppelbock, of course, Doppelbock, big strong lager, dark lager. 10% alcohol by volume, and you could get these in 6 packs when you could buy them for the regular price of most other 6 packs of craft beer here you buy in Canada. So it was like a great deal. 10%, 10% alcohol beers. So really cool. So we're gonna open it up here, and we're gonna see what we think. See how it has aged over 1 year. Still has a good little bit of carbonation going in there. Oh yeah, bubbly. Now, I gave it a 4 out of 5 last time I rated it. And I said it was not the most complex Doppelbock I had, but it was really, really good. Like, just really solid and just amazing that you could get a 10% beer in a 6-pack for that price and it be of really decent quality, you know, not some overly boozy mess. It's like really well crafted beer. So she retains a nice head. Still got that very deep amber color. I mean, you put up to the light and you start getting red hues and like mahoganies and oranges and stuff. But just looking at it straight, it's a very, very dark amber mahogany kind of thing going on there. So it's right in the spectrum for a Doppelbock sort of color. You can almost say brown. The head is brown, tannish brown. See the alcohol legs on the side. So we'll go right to the aroma and see what we think. Oh, wow. The aroma is much bigger. I'm finding right off the bat. I remember the aroma was not necessarily really intense when it was a fresh bottle. The aroma now is very caramel, toffee, chocolate, and it's got this really nice dark fruity smell, like a pruny, raisiny sort of smell. Oh, it smells very. It's something close to one of the components you get from like an English barley wine. It's got that really nice, almost like fruit cake kind of smell. Very nice. Wow. Like toasted raisin bread with chocolate spread on it or something along those lines. Like, well, smell is already better than it was. Really impressed with that. And oh, by the way, my friend and fellow beer tuber Don Rigg just recently did, well, not too recently, a few weeks back, did 1 year cellared version of this as well. And I'll link his review down under this review if you're interested in seeing that. So cheers, we're going to go right to the taste, see what we think. Still got that medium body to it. Seems more complex now in the glass. The smell pretty much translates right over to the taste. It's got that pruny, raisiny, covered in chocolate sort of taste. Had similar notes in a fresh bottle. It was very much like a chocolate covered raisin kind of thing, but now it's smoothed out a bit more. Again, typical with like aging beers, you tend to with some beers that are meant to be aged, especially like say Chimay Blue, you get really distinct, strong notes in a fresh bottle, and they tend to meld together and get more well suited to one another, blend together a lot more after aging for a while. This is the case here. I'm picking up a bit more complexity. I'm picking up the different flavors sort of merge together a bit more. Again, still no alcohol at all coming out from the 10%. It tastes more creamy than it did, which is also something that usually happens with aging beers. Aftertaste, toasted raisin bread aftertaste, with maybe a little teeny bit of milk chocolate. I don't think I'm getting any hops now. I think whatever hop character I was detecting in a fresh bottle has kind of faded down a bit. And it's much more just the maltiness and stuff coming out now. Which, again, I keep repeating myself here, but it's another thing that typically happens when you age a beer. The hop profile goes down quite a bit. So, oh man, that's really good. That's very, very pruny and figgy, and much more so now, to the point where I could almost mistake it as like a barley wine, almost like a real simple barley wine, or maybe a really simple wee heavy of some sort. Because it's funny, there's some notes lingering on the tongue. There's this bitterness that almost tastes kind of smoky, kind of toasty and smoky. I think that's some of what I was actually picking up in the aroma too. It's not as sweet as it used to be. I think that's the big difference. It was a pretty sweet Doppelbock, fresh, but now the sweetness has really died down quite a bit, and those malty flavors, the bitterness of those malty flavors has come up more instead of just the overall sweetness from the malt. Man, and with the sweetness going down, I kind of wonder. No, I won't get into that. But yeah, that's better. It's a better beer after 1 year, and I still got one bottle left, and we'll see how that comes to be a year from now. But for now, fuck, I'm glad I put these away. Really glad I put these away. Pump House Doppelbock after a year. That's actually going up a bit. Again, it's still, like I said on my review of a fresh bottle of this, and if you want to refer to that, I said it was not quite as complex. It didn't have quite the flavor profile depth of like a Eyinger or Cameron Celibator. No, not Celibator. Deviator. Eyinger is Celibator. Duh. It's not quite as complex as those beers. But what it lacks in complexity, it makes up for big time in flavor and drinkability. So, with the added depth of flavor here and a little bit more complexity coming out, a little bit better flavors, 4.5 out of 5. Gone up a whole half point. So, Pump House Doppelbock, if you have been holding on to it in your cellar, I'm sure there's at least a few people out there who have. It's drinking very good after 1 year. So very, very good. It's drinking better, actually, than it did fresh. So I would suggest if you wanted to dive into your cellar and pull it out now, it would be a good time to do it. Weather's still perfect for it. It's not quite a warmer or anything, but it's kind of that nice lovely tasting fruitcake pruny kind of beer that will suit the kind of weather we've been having lately. And all of that out of a lager. Suck on that, macro loggers. Here's a real friggin' lager for you. All right, guys, I've been going far too long. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.